it's Maddie here. Today we're doing nails. I'm going to show you how I do my nails at home with builder gel. That's the kind of products I use on my nails. I'll show you how to apply it perfectly every time. Well, almost every time. It does take lots of practice to learn how to use builder gel. Make sure to have patience, but once you get it, it's pretty easy. I also share a few tips on how to get your manicures to last a long time because I only have to do my nails like every 3 to 4 weeks, so they last a while. Anyway, let's begin doing nails. This is what we're starting out with. This was my previous set of nails, and I did this beautiful sparkly pink color. I love these nails. I had these on for about 2.5 to 3-ish weeks. Not very long. Most of the time I let them stay on longer. I just went ahead and removed that and prep my nails off camera because I do have another separate video on how I remove and prep my nails. So if you want to check that out, I'll make sure to link it in the description. I just went ahead and did that, and I cut them nice and short because we're doing a short set of nails today. I've been recently loving short nails because long nails kind of bother me now. I don't know why. Anyway, here are my nails. Beautiful. I also prepped the entire surface so we are all ready to begin applying some product. Also, the brand of gel I'm using is Beetles. You can get this on Amazon, and I'll have everything linked down below in the description if you want to get anything in this video. To get started, I'm going to start off with the foundation, which is their base gel. This is just like a gel base, and we're going to use this first before we apply our builder gel. Now, I did go ahead and prep my nails, and that is going to be the most important step if you want a long-lasting manicure. But right before I put the base gel on, I always like to go ahead and make sure my nails are clean and free of any oil. So I will go ahead and use a little bit of this isopropyl alcohol in my scrubby brush, and I will just pour a little bit of that on my brush like this, and then I will go ahead and scrub each nail nice and clean. I think the scrubby brush works the best because you can really scrub your nail and make sure that you have no leftover oil residue from your nails. I also like to scrub the tip of the nails like this. I also don't use any primers on my nail just because I do find them to be a little bit harsh, so I always like to make sure I scrub them real good before I apply any product. After the nails dry, we can now go ahead and take our base gel, and I'm just gonna go ahead and apply a very thin coat to the entire nail. This layer does not need to be thick at all. It just needs to be a thin layer. Make sure to get close to the sidewalls, up by the cuticle, and down the other side of the nail, of course. After you apply that to the entire nail, go ahead and cap the tip of the nail. So just take my brush and wiping the edge of the nail like that. And then we can move on to the next nail. Of course, don't forget about the thumb. Ta-da! And just like that, we now have base gel on each of our nails. And now we can go ahead and cure this in our nail lamp for 30 seconds. Once that's cured, we can now apply our builder gel. So I'm going to be using the color DO56, and I'm pretty sure on Amazon it's called the sheer pink color, and this is my favorite color for builder gel. It's just this nice soft pink color, and it's very pretty. It also works really good if you just want like a base layer of pink on your nails, like before you put some designs on it. I love this color. It's my favorite. So when applying the builder gel, it can be a little bit tricky, so be patient with yourself and take your time. So to start off, I'm going to go ahead and take just a little bit of product on the brush. You don't need much because right now what we're going to do is we're going to apply a thin layer to the entire surface of the nail, and this is called the slip layer. So just kind of like you're painting on some nail polish, or like how we painted on the base gel, you're just going to apply a very thin coat. Make sure to get up to the cuticle line pretty good, and on the sidewalls. I like to go ahead and cap the tip of the nail here too. And then while that is still wet, I'm going to go ahead and get some more product on my brush. I have more product on my brush now than when I applied the slip layer. So that's what you want. You want like a little blob. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to apply this close to the cuticle, but not all the way up there. And we're not going to be touching the nail bed. And we're just going to kind of flow that down the nail bed. I'm also not going all the way down to the sidewalls, just kind of keeping it in the center, all the way down to the tip, just like that. And this is going to create a nice apex for the nail, which is going to be a little hill for the nail, which will be a good structure for it. So that way you have nice strong nails. And then I'm also taking my brush and I'm just kind of like guiding where I want the gel to go. Again, this takes lots of practice to get really good at. So take your time. And as you can see, I just kind of let that gel flow out on the surface of the nail. The gel kind of does its own thing and turns out good. So you don't need to touch it too much if you apply it well, but sometimes there'll be too much product on like the sidewalls of the nail, and you can fix that by just flipping your nail upside down, and then gravity will pull that back to the center of the nail, creating a nice structure for you. So just kind of hold it there for a few seconds. You can check too to see where that gel's at, and then when you flip it back over, should look pretty good. So once you're happy with the way the gel looks, we can now go ahead and cure our nail. Now you want to make sure that you're curing each nail individually, because you don't want to be working on one nail while another nail is still wet, because it may move and all your nails are going to be uneven. So I would definitely recommend to cure each nail as you go. And I cure each nail for 10 seconds, and then at the end I'll do a full cure of 30 seconds to make sure all the nails had enough time in the lamp to fully cure. I'll show you again how to apply the builder gel. So we're going to first start off with just a little bit of product on our brush and go ahead and paint on a thin layer to make that slip layer on the nail. Make sure to get close to the sidewalls and the cuticles real good. And also again, this does not need to be a thick layer, it just needs to be a nice thin layer of gel. And the slip layer kind of acts like a map for where you want like the blob of builder gel to go, because it sticks to itself. Once you're happy with the slip layer, you can go ahead and get some more gel on your brush, and then we're going to place that close to the cuticle but not all the way up there. And also, as I flow this down the nail, I'm not putting the brush on the nail plate, it's just kind of hovering on the gel. And then just pull that all the way down to the tip of the nail, and then you can go ahead and wipe off your brush, and then you can use that to move the gel if you want. And then also, if you need to, you can go ahead and just place your hand upside down, and then gravity will just pull that to the center of the nail. Just let it sit there for a few seconds, and you can go ahead and check it too, make sure it looks good. I'm pretty happy with the way that looks, so now we can go ahead and cure that in our lamp. Again, I'm curing this for 10 seconds, and at the end we'll do a full cure for 30 seconds, like after we finish all the nails. And now, as you can see, we have done 2 of the nails. I'll show you one more time how to apply it. So starting off with just a little bit of product on my brush, we'll go ahead and paint on the slip layer. Make sure this is nice and thin and covers the entire surface of the nail. And also don't forget to cap the tip of your nail here. After the slip layer, you can grab a blob of gel, and we're just going to place that close to the cuticle but not all the way up there, and then drag it down the nail all the way down to the tip. And then you can move the gel with the brush. And then whenever I'm moving the gel with the brush, I kind of just like to use that to bring some of that gel down to the side balls. And just kind of mess with it till it looks pretty good. And that looks pretty good. I don't need to put that one upside down, but if I needed to, I could. And then go ahead and cure. And ta-da! They look so beautiful. I still need to do the pinky and the thumb on this hand, and then I also got to do my opposite hand. I'm going to go ahead and do my pinky and my thumb. Also, one other thing I forgot to mention, but the temperature of your gel does kind of matter. Like if you're in a really cold room, the gel will be a lot thicker than if you're in a warmer room. Sometimes during winter, if the gel's too cold, I'll just get a tiny little heater and heat up the gel because it's too cold, and that kind of helps the consistency of the gel too if it's too thick. But I thought I'd mention that. Alright, so I just finished all of the nails, and every time I did one nail, I did it for 10 seconds. So now I'm going to go ahead and turn my lamp to 30 seconds. And I'm just going to cure all the nails for the 30 seconds just to make sure everything's nice and cured. Alright, so once your nails are cured, there is going to be a tacky layer on top of the gel, and you do not want to touch this layer because it's pretty much like the wet gel. And if you didn't know, you do not want to touch the wet gel like with your skin, because you can actually develop allergies if your skin comes in contact with the gel too much. So just try and make sure to keep the wet gel away from your skin. And because of that, I like to always go ahead and wipe off that tacky layer of gel after you cure it. But also because little fuzz pieces always get stuck to that tacky layer and it bugs me a lot. So to wipe it off, I'm just going to use a little bit of the isopropyl alcohol on a paper towel, put a little bit on there like this, and then just wipe the surface of the nail to remove that tacky layer. Just wipe it real good. And I'm going to do that for each of the nails. Alright, the nails are nice and clean, and there's no more tacky layer. Sometimes it dulls out the nails, sometimes it doesn't. Like, as you can see, this one's shinier than this one. I don't know why that happens, but now we can either start painting our fun designs, or if your application of the gel wasn't as perfect as you want it, you can go ahead and take a nail file and just shape the nail. Like if there's like a lump on it, you can just like file that now and fix the shape of the nail if you need to, but I tend to like to spend more time on the application process. That way I don't have to do any filing because I don't like filing. If you do need to do that, you can do that here. Now's the fun part, picking a color and deciding what kind of designs we want to do. I have a lot of colors, and even more than this. I don't really know what I want to do today, which normally I do have a plan for what kind of design I want to do, or color at least, and I don't know what to do. Ooh, I do like this color. Maybe we'll do this color. Oh, that's so pretty. Should I do this color? Maybe I want pink. I do kind of want a simple set of nails, so I was thinking maybe like a colored French because I always love those. But what color do we pick? Actually, I really like this color. I think we're gonna go with this color. So I normally have a really tough time when it comes to doing French nails because they're always uneven, so we'll see how this goes. I have found that the easiest way to do it is by using a cuticle stick, or like an orange wood stick here. I need to clean this. Let's see how this goes. Does that look pretty? That is very crooked. I don't like it. Ooh, maybe I'll do purple nails. I think I'm gonna do this color. I just want solid nails, actually. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention, I'm using gel polishes. Again, I'm using Beetles. I've decided I did not like the color, so I removed it. Okay, I finally decided on a color. I like this light pink, like jelly color. So I just applied a thin layer of that. Just gonna go ahead and cure all the nails in my lamp for 30 seconds. And then normally I just apply a top coat, a gel top coat to my finished nails, but I actually have this glitter top coat, which is a top coat that has glitter in it. So I'm gonna use this today because it's so pretty. With the top coat, you just need to apply a nice thin layer of that to the entire nail, and then you'll just go ahead and cure that in the lamp for 60 seconds. Just like that, you now have a beautiful manicure. I really love how these nails turned out. I'm glad I did the pink with like the little sparkle stuff. It looks really pretty. I didn't like them when I first did them, but now that it's been a couple days, I really do like the color. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video or have any questions, make sure to leave that down below in the comments, and also let me know what color you decided to do your nails, or if you painted designs or something. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!